It's Monday, January 15th, 2024. Happy MLK Day to you, but guess what's even better? We've got two NFL football games, not just one, two playoff games, and you know what I'm coming with, three best bets for you. This is the free three. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Let's do a quick weekend recap here on the show. On Friday, I gave you guys three best bets. We went 2-1 on the day on Friday. We cashed on Nebraska, Iowa over. No sweat bet there. We also cashed on the Spurs spread. I told you all to play it. If Wemby did play, he did play. I did not know that LaMelo Ball was coming out, so I actually told my Discord group not to take the play, but I didn't give you guys that caveat here on the show. I just said if Wemby plays, take it. So hopefully you guys took it. The Spurs still won there. No sweat bet there. Blowout there. Pacers went crazy on the Hawks. I don't know. The Hawks absolutely suck, so we did lose on that Pacers team total under. And then on Saturday, I gave you guys two shorts, two player props inside the football games. Joe Flacco went over. Patrick Mahomes went over. So a 2-1 day Friday, 2-0 day Saturday, 4-1 on the last 2 days of the channel. Yesterday, I did not have the ability to create a video for you guys. I do apologize because I was DJing late into the night on Saturday night, but I did give out a teaser inside of the Discord group, and that did cash in. We took the Packers up to plus 13, and we took the Rams up to plus 9. So we took both the underdogs up, and guess what happened? It paid off pretty well for us. So in today's video, I'm going to break down both of the playoff games that we have for today, and I'm going to give you guys a teaser in each of those games. So if you can, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel because we've been absolutely crushing it in NFL season. We have a few more weeks left on the channel, and then we also have college basketball action as well. So you guys want to make sure you guys are around for all those winning picks and plays. All right, my friends? So let's dive into this first game between the Bills and the Steelers. So the Bills-Steelers, this game got rescheduled from yesterday due to the blizzard concerns there, the very absolutely crazy weather that they have going up there in Buffalo, New York. But they will play this one today at 4:30 Eastern time. And listen, I got to go with the Bills in this matchup. I think the Bills are going to win this game. They're the much better team here. But like I told you, we're going to go with the teaser here. So I'm going to take the Bills down from 10, and I'm going to just take it down to under a touchdown to -4. Now, you can go with like a 7-point teaser if you want to get under the key number of 2.5. Not opposed to that, but I do think the Bills win this game. I actually think they cover the 10-point spread. I just can't lay that many points in professional football because anything can happen. You guys know how it goes. We saw the Cowboys lose outright yesterday, 7-point favorite. So anything can happen in professional ball. So for me, I'm just going to take this down to -4 as I do think the Bills win this game, and they definitely win by more than a field goal, maybe even a touchdown here. And I'm going to take the total from 38.5, and I'm going to go up with this so I can take the under 44.5. Now, I'm not opposed for you taking the other side and taking this thing over 32.5. We saw in that Dolphins-Chiefs game, which it wasn't close, even with the bad weather over there as well. Even though they're still not dealing with the same type of cold conditions here in Buffalo, they're kind of dealing with more of the snow there. We saw in that Chiefs-Dolphins game that despite that, this game went over the 33 number because the final score was like 26-7. So I'm not opposed for you going under here, but let's go Bills -4, under 44.5, -120 on the teaser. And the reason why this is the Steelers team. They made it to the playoffs. Shout out to them for figuring it out late down the stretch, winning the games they were supposed to win, but they had a huge blow in their last game, right? Against the Ravens. They won that game, but they lost TJ Watt. No TJ Watt for the Steelers defense means it's a completely different ball game, especially on the defensive line, especially on that pass rush. And then when I really think about Mason Rudolph as a quarterback, right, I kind of think about what Cam Newton mentioned with the game managers and game changers. Mason Rudolph, give him the credit. He came in off the bench. They went with two other starting quarterbacks over him, and he's led this team to the playoffs, but he's done a lot of game managing in that process. They've really been feeding Najee Harris. They've been really managing the clock. They've let the defense make a few plays, a few timely interceptions. Special teams have stepped up. So this has really been a team effort from the Steelers here to get to the playoffs. And Mason Rudolph has done what he's needed to do. Like, don't get me wrong. He's put up the numbers. He's had the stats, but he's also game managed. And today, for him to beat this Bills team, he's going to have to be a game changer. And I just don't see that happening, especially with the weather in mind as well. This is not really the best throwing conditions, right? I mentioned in my quick short on Saturday that the weather in Kansas City didn't really bother me that much because it was just cold, not windy. Well, this matchup, they're expecting like 20-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to make it very hard to throw the ball, especially throwing the ball deep down the field. So if the Bills have the ability to crowd the defensive line and crowd that line of scrimmage there, don't get me wrong, I think when I said you guys can take the over, I do think the over can happen because you might have a few slant patterns or a few long runs, a few missed tackles. I think all that can happen. Guys slip and fall. But for me, I just think this is the game where Mason Rudolph is going to be has to put up points, and I just don't think that's going to happen against a Bills defense that's 4th best in the NFL and giving up points per game, less than 18 points or 18 points per game they're giving up. So for me, this is a game where I just don't think there's going to be enough points scored by the Steelers here. They only scored 17 against the Ravens, and that was against their backup defense in their last matchup. And we've seen them score points the last 2 games against the Seahawks and the Bengals went over, but that's not the same type of defense and the weather conditions that they're facing here in Buffalo. For me, Buffalo's used to playing this weather. Josh Allen, he definitely has game-changing abilities as long as he doesn't go crazy with the turnovers today, which can happen. I think that this is the game that the Bills are going to be able to win. Bills -4, under 44.5, -120. Take the teaser there, as I do think the Bills can cover the 10 points. I'm just not laying that many points in a playoff matchup, but we can see something very similar to that Chiefs-Dolphins game, in my opinion, where one team knows how to play in these conditions, one team doesn't, and I think that this just favors here the Bills here in this matchup. For my second best bet of the day, we're going to go over to this Eagles matchup. Fly, Eagles, fly. You guys know the vibes, but I'm going to give you guys 2 different teased lines here. You can take either one, but the official one for the channel is going to be Bucs +9 and under 49.5 -120 odds. Now, for me personally, I'm going to be taking the Eagles +3.5 and the under 50. So that's a 6.5 point teaser at -130. I got to go with my boys here. I think the Eagles win this game outright. You can take the Eagles on the money line. I just don't know if they're going to win this game by more than 3 points, in all honesty, or I don't think they win this game by more than 2 possessions. That's why I like the Bucs here plus the points, but I also do see a world where the Eagles can lose. So we're here to make money, guys. I'm a fan of the Eagles, and I'm not going to be one of those biased handicappers. I got to give you what the books and what the numbers are telling me, and that says take the Bucs plus the 9. That says also take the under. So for me, if the Bucs were healthy, then I think the Bucs are favored in this matchup. I think the Bucs winning this matchup is a lot more likely, but the Bucs aren't healthy. Why are the Bucs not healthy? Because Baker Mayfield's not healthy, and we've seen how this offense has struggled over the last few weeks because he's not healthy. The Buccaneers were literally shut out over the last 3 quarters against New Orleans. They didn't score a single point for the first 3 quarters of that game, and then they go to Carolina last week, and they didn't even score a touchdown. They won that game probably really relatively fortunately. They should have lost that game, but they won that game 9-0, and the Panthers defense is worse in the NFL. So keep in mind here that there are offensive concerns here for the Eagles as well, which is why I'm leaning towards the under overall in this game. The Eagles are very heavily reliant on A.J. Brown. He's injured. Devontae Smith is coming back for this game after he missed the last game against the Giants with an injury. But Jalen Hurts, he dislocated / broke his finger after he hit the helmet of one of the Giants players last game. That's in the middle finger of his throwing hand. So we have to see how that affects him, right? So there's just a lot of things that are question marks that surround this Eagles team offensively, and they're banged up. That's why I just don't know if they're going to win this game by more than 2 possessions here or by more than a touchdown here. And that's why I just don't even know if we're going to get over this total either. So that's why I'm going to take the teased up line, and I'm going to take the Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers have turned things around on the defensive side of the ball, especially starting with that defensive line. When the Eagles played this team earlier on in the season, DeAndre Swift tore them up on the ground. He ran for over 130 yards in that matchup, but since then, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are top 5 in the NFL running defense. So because of that, I think that's where their advantage lies in this game, to be able to lock in and get pressure on Jalen Hurts, get pressure on this run game, force him to make certain throws, and with no A.J. Brown, with Devontae Smith banged up, and with the Eagles pass game really relatively absent all year, there's the question marks for me surrounding this team, right? I think this is a matchup here where the Eagles have the better players. They have a championship pedigree. They know how to win games like this. I mean, so for me, that's why I'm taking the Eagles to win this game, but I think the Buccaneers have enough weapons at home to be able to keep this game close, to keep it within 2 possessions. So that's why I'm going to take the underdog here. Bucs plus 9, just way too many points in a playoff game. And also keep in mind that the Eagles have struggled against the blitz as well. No team has faced more blitzes in the NFL than the Eagles. But guess what? Todd Bowles, he likes to dial the blitz. No, one of the most heavily blitzing teams in all the NFL are the Buccaneers. So that's another reason as why as well today that I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on this Eagles team. They're going to have to run the ball a lot today. And because of that, it's going to milk a lot of clock. And I think we have a low scoring matchup here. So let's go with the Buccaneers plus 9 and under 49.5. But I will be taking the Eagles plus 3.5. But overall, general consensus is take the under in this game. I do like the under 43 as a general line if you just want to take that as well. Final play of the game, going to go with the player prop parlay, combine these 2 games here. Najee Harris, 15 carries. DeAndre Swift, 13 carries. plus 116 odds. Ladder leg, double your money. Both get action on both sides of the game. Najee Harris, does he need any explanation? No in Buffalo. Going to have to run the ball. Mason Rudolph, his pass attempts is like 26, 25 and a half on certain books. They're not expecting him to throw the ball a lot. That means that Najee Harris, your workhorse, has to run the ball. He's been the workhorse for the Steelers team since really Mason Rudolph's become the starting quarterback. Last game, 26 attempts, 112 yards against Buffalo. Week before that against Seattle, 27 attempts, 122 yards. Week before that against Cincinnati, 19 attempts, 78 yards. So for me, I think that he's going to be able to get his carries today, especially because of the weather conditions. As long as Buffalo is not completely blowing this one out of the water early and it just forces the Steelers just have to throw the ball literally on every down, I think that this is one where even the Buffalo score early, the Steelers are going to still try to maintain the ball, run the ball, keep the tempo, keep that Bills offense off the field. So I think Najee Harris is a big part of that. So Najee Harris, 15 carries is the first leg of the parlay, and then DeAndre Swift is the second leg of the parlay. He didn't play in his last game against the Giants as he was resting due to an injury there, but I just told you all the injuries that this Eagles offensive side is dealing with, okay? Do we have to see how Jalen Hurts is going to throw the ball with the finger injury? No A.J. Brown there. So because of that, I feel like the Eagles have to rely on the run game of DeAndre Swift. I mean, the Eagle fans, me personally, all the Eagle fans have been crying for the Eagles to run the ball more, get less predictable in these play calls, and stop with these Jalen Hurts like outside QB draws. He's clearly injured. He clearly doesn't have his explosiveness. Now, obviously use it to get out when we need to, but these designed runs need to be going to DeAndre Swift, okay? He had 13 carries for 61 yards against Arizona, 20 yards and for 92 yards against the Giants the week before that, and then 18 carries for 74 yards against the Seahawks the week before that. Good things happen when the Eagles run the ball, okay? When it's just as simple as that. I don't know how else to put that. Obviously, I mentioned before that Tampa now has a top 5 run defense, but it was a little bit different defense when DeAndre Swift faced them back in week 2 when he had 16 carries for 130 yards. But for me, I think that DeAndre Swift is going to have to be leaned on pretty heavily today against this team, against all the injuries that the Philadelphia Eagles have to deal with. So let's go with these two running backs to get it done today. Najee Harris, 15 carries, DeAndre Swift, 13 carries, plus 116 odds as our ladder leg and our final best bet of the day. 3 best bets, 3 different ways that you can kind of play this game. I gave you the tease line, so feel free to do it with really 4 different angles that you can with these playoff games that you today. We got the first teaser, Bills -4, under 44.5, minus 120 odds. The second teaser, Bucs +9 and under 49.5 as our second teaser there. And then we've got the player prop parlay, Najee Harris 15 carries, DeAndre Swift 13 carries to double our money 10 the night. All right, my friends, 3 best bets, 3 winners that are coming away on your Monday slate here. If you want more college basketball plays and the NBA plays, because we've got games all day long, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and we'd love to see you there. All right, my friends, let's cash in, let's make some money. Fly Eagles fly, go Birds. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Later, gang.